Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First off, sorry for not posting these past couple of weeks. School has been really hectic, and it's just been really hard to film and edit and upload, so I will be back trying to post regularly. And this video is actually going to be a story time video, and I'm really excited to tell this story. Kind of excited. It's a really embarrassing thing that I did when I was a lot younger, so let's get into it. Okay, so this first story happened in about 4th grade or 5th grade. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was 5th grade. So I was like 9 or 10. And in my grade, there were only 30 kids in my entire grade. There were 20 boys and 10 girls. Since my school was so small, there weren't really like a popular group or a not popular group. We were all just friends and there were no little cliques. Plus we were in like 5th grade, so there's not really cliques in 5th grade. I would take the bus into school every day. And I was one of the first stops, so we would go along and then I would pick up my friends after that. So one of my friends, let's call her Emma, she was like, and I know I said there weren't really popular kids, but everybody loved Emma. She was like #1, everybody wanted to be her friend, and I couldn't figure out why, but we were friends because there were 10 of us in our whole grade. So she was really cool. And she always had like the coolest clothes and like the coolest backpack. Like it would always have like, she would have like a My Little Pony backpack, and I would get so jealous. One day Emma and I were talking on the bus, and I don't know how it started, but she dared me to bring a hammer into school. I don't know why, she just did. And like a lot of people used to pick on me, like they used to, because I guess they could kind of tell that like I wanted to be a part of their group and I wasn't, so they kind of used me like that. And Emma was friends with a lot of the older kids, like, you know, the 6th and 7th graders, so she was really cool because she had an older brother who was very scary and would like threaten people. It was a problem. Anyways, Emma dared me to bring a hammer into school. So like I was in school all day. I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure it out, like I got this. Like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell my dad that I want to go out the garage because I know there's one in the toolbox in the garage, and instead of going out the front door, I'll go out the garage door. Like it'll be perfect, and then I'll just have it in my backpack, no one will know. And like then Emma will sit next to me on the bus because we always sat next to each other, and I could just show her and it'll be like, oh my god, and then I'll finally be cool. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. But my stupid 5th grade brain didn't realize that bringing a hammer onto a bus full of other children is not exactly the best thing to do. So the next morning I got up and I got ready, and I was so nervous in the morning, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Like I'm just gonna go out the garage door and like play it off really cool. So I went downstairs and I was getting my lunchbox ready, and I was like, Dad, I'm gonna go out the garage door. And he was like, why? I was like, I just am. And I ran down the garage door. The bus was pulling up, and as I was running out, I opened up the smaller part of my backpack, and I quick grabbed it, I put it in, and I zipped it up really quick, and I ran away, and like I ran onto the bus. So now I had like 3 stops until it was Emma's bus stop. Like the whole time I was sitting there and I was like, yes, like I'm gonna be so cool, like I can't wait for her to get here. And we pull up to Emma's stop, and I see, like, because the older kids would get on the bus first, I see some of the older kids walk by, and then I see Emma come like onto the bus, and I'm sitting kind of like in the back, and I pull it out, but not the whole thing, but like I just pick up my backpack so that it's over the seat, and I kind of like lift up the top of it, and her face goes white. And I was like, I saw her face and I was like, oh my god. And I quickly, I put it back in, I zipped up my bag and I like put it down, and I just didn't say anything. And then she turned around to one of the older girls behind her and told her what happened, like what I did. And as she's walking by, Emma walks past me and goes to sit in the seat behind me, which she never does. So this other girl comes up to me and she says, what do you have in your backpack? And this is like an 8th grader. Emma's brother was in 8th grade, so this was, they knew each other. And she goes, what do you have in your backpack? And I was just so scared. I was like, nothing, I don't have anything in my backpack. And like the 8th graders really picked on me for some reason, especially like this grade of 8th graders. I don't know why, but they just did. And like I said, I don't have anything in my backpack, I don't know what you're talking about. And she grabs my backpack and opens it up, and she pulls it out, and she goes, why do you have this, like yelling at me. And I was like, Emma told me to bring it, like she dared me, like I just did it. And then like I told that to the first girl, and then like this other guy from one of the 8th grade guys came up to me and was like, he was super nice, but he was like, you know, why? And I was like, oh, I was using this backpack to build houses with my dad over the weekend, and that's what I was doing. Like, it's an accident. And then like I was freaking out, and then this other kid comes up to me and he goes, you're gonna get expelled for this, you're gonna get kicked out of school. And I was like, at this point, I had crazy anxiety anyways growing up, but now like it was on full red alert, and like Emma and like 2 of her friends behind her were just dying laughing at me, which was making it so much worse. So the next thing I do is I call my mom, because I had like a slide phone. I was like one of the only kids that had a slide phone then, because like none of my friends had it, but I used to go to sleepaway camp, so my parents had bought me one. So I called my mom and I told her what happened. And I was like, Mom, like I'm really sorry, like she dared me to do it, like I don't know what to do, they're telling me I'm gonna get expelled. And she was like, you did the right thing by calling me, like you should have, like, you know, you shouldn't have done this, but like, and then I went from, because then by that time I was at school, so I had gotten off the phone with my mom. I called my dad too, and I told him like the same thing, and he was like, okay, like it's fine, just talk to your teacher, sort it out, like it'll be okay. And I left it in my bag, and I just went up to class. Like I didn't know what to do. I just went up to class. And then I got called down to the principal's office right away, because apparently like one of the kids had told the principal, which like makes sense. But I was called down to the principal's office, and they were like, what do you have in your bag? And I was like, and I told them, and I was like, I'm sorry. And I was crying, like this little, like, I was really, really short. So this little itty bitty girl just crying, like, I'm sorry, like, she dared me to do it, like, I didn't want to, and like, she told me I had to, and she told me that she would like make fun of me if I did it. And I really like milked it. I was like, she told me that like if I didn't, she was gonna like do something to me, and I did it, and I didn't think there was a problem, like I didn't know it was like a bad thing. And like, oh my gosh, it was the worst. And then my dad had to come in and like talk to me, and then they had me like go to the bathroom and clean up. And then they had the school guidance counselor, who I was really close with, go up to both of our, like, because there were 2 classes, like 2 homerooms, go up to our teachers and tell the kids not to talk to me about it. So they literally had a teacher, the guidance counselor, go upstairs and make an announcement to the entire class to just forget it ever happened. Because by this time, like, it was a small school, there were 30 kids, everybody knew what was going on. So they literally had to tell everybody, don't say anything to her, just ignore it, it wasn't her fault, like it's fine, there's no danger, you guys are fine. And then like, so I get back to class, and like my face is all red, and I just sit there like, and you know, go on with the day. And then I had gym class last period, and we were running out to the field to go like play soccer or something, I don't know. And this kid comes up to me and he goes, dude, why'd you bring a hammer to school? Like, and I was like, oh, you know you're not supposed to ask me about that. Why would you ask me? Like, you know you're not supposed to talk about that. Like, they told you not to talk about it. And I was like going off on this kid. He was like, whoa, dude, chill, it was just a question. And I was like, no. And then I ran to the nurse's office, because the nurse had like a door that you could get into the nurse's office from the outside of the school, like if you got hurt at gym class or something. So I ran to the nurse's office crying, and I was like, he asked me about it, like I don't know what to do, he was told not to, like that's not fair, I'm like, I didn't do it on purpose. And like, oh my gosh. And it was like, I never lived it down. And to this day, my friends like from elementary school will still bring up like, dude, remember that time you brought a hammer to school? And I was like, don't talk about it. And I know like this is so messed up, like, and my 5th grade brain was just like, all I cared about is that I wanted to be cool, because this girl Emma was really good friends with the guy that I had a crush on in 5th grade. So they were really good friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I make Emma think I'm cool, then Emma's gonna tell this guy that I'm cool, and then we're gonna live happily ever after and get married. Like, that's honestly what I thought. And looking back, I'm literally like, what the hell are you thinking? But it's such a funny story, and that's literally one of those things where I'll just be staring at a wall, and all of a sudden like it'll pop into my head, and I'll be like, oh my god, remember that time I did that? And you just kind of like sit there in class and you're just like, oh my god, and everyone's like, what? And you're just like, sorry, I just remembered something like stupid that I did. So yeah, that was a fun time. Not really, it was kind of an awful time, and it is pretty emotionally scarring. Okay, so that is all for my video today. Thank you so much for listening and hearing about my stupid stuff that I did. If you have ever done anything stupid like that to make anyone think that you're cool or something, please leave it down in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe and come back to watch for more. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, bye internet.